To go back to John's point about Luke Fahey, he was on campus this week. I can't speak to I believe Matt Weaver wrote an article, but it was behind a paywall about Fahey's visit. But I know Adam Gorney, he's somewhere up there with 24/7, but he wrote an article from a Stanford slant about Fahey going into the weekend, essentially saying that like nothing's going to happen on the Fahey front until he visits Ohio State. That's on the 20th. There's been talks of him picking up a midweek Oregon visit. Ryder Lyons, who's a 5-star in the same class, just announced he's going to take an official visit to Oregon. So I'm not sure where that leaves Fahey. But at least going into the weekend, it was stated publicly that Luke Fahey wasn't going to make a decision this weekend. That being said, you still like to think there's a chance when you get into the ecosystem and see what's going on that you have a chance to be wooed or persuaded or whatnot. But it's kind of a wait and see for Fahey. So it'll be interesting to see what Indiana does. I think if they are unconfident or are unsure about what his decision is going to be, that you'll see them move quickly to a different quarterback in this class. But it's just we're on a wait and see with Fahey.
In his defense, if I'm a 4-star quarterback, I'm also not going to commit to Indiana if I have a Ohio State visit on the way, considering what they've done with Fields, Stroud, McCord, Will Howard. I mean, how do you not go that? How do you not at least entertain that idea, right? So I appreciate him making an informed decision. And, look at us. Year 2 under Sig, it's a quarterback battle between Oregon, Ohio State, and Indiana.
And Stanford.
I mean, it gets to a point where we need to stop celebrating just being in the dance, and hopefully we win. We win one of these every once in a while. We've talked about Showtime sales. We've talked about, some other recruits as well. It would be great to win one moving forward. I mean, we won Byron Baldwin last year over Colorado. That's not. I don't think that's the same as beating a guy out over beating a freshman recruit out over another playoff team, right?
Our starting quarterback's Fernando Mendoza. And if you look at the discourse around Gunnar Stockton, that should tell you everything you need to know about how Georgia felt about their quarterback room and how much they wanted Fernando Mendoza. So it's like they win battles. Like I honestly was thinking about this today. It's funny enough because
let's win one without a sibling already on the roster, though.
Well, I was gonna say if I got the chance to ask a question to Signetti, it would be like, do you feel disrespected by the fact that people don't they don't call him a great recruiter? And it's crazy because he is a great recruiter and the staff recruits really well. And so to not just assume he knows what he's looking at when it comes to this stuff is crazy to me. He has the track record that says completely otherwise.
The reality is that he has to get 3 top 25 classes in a row before people start talking about him like that. So, but when he does that, and fast forward 3 years from now, when he does have 3 straight top 25 classes, looking like this year is going to be one of those. I imagine the next 2 years, based on the buzz that we saw from this last visit, is going to be, a much better class than this year. So, yeah, I mean, he's got to earn the respect. I mean, we've done our homework and know that the recruiting potential's there, just him being on that Saban staff early on as the recruiting coordinator. But, from the media, respect is earned, not given. So,
they're getting the respect from Jalen Brewster, who's the top-rated defensive tackle in the class of 2027. He was on campus this past weekend as well.
He's calling Natty in 2 years.
He was. That was crazy. He's not even a part of the program.
Can you reclassify and come into this class? I would love that. Let's do it.
But he's not the only one. People come into the program and they're like, oh yeah, they're going to do something special. It's just it's not a matter of if, it's when. And so the right things are being said again when people see what's going on the inside and then take a step back. It's like, holy cow, they're operating at a high level.
I'm with it. Yeah. I'm cool with him not committing. I mean, if I was a kid, if it was my son, I'd be like, yeah, you're not committing to Indiana. You're going on that. Obviously, he's like, you're going to Indiana, me personally, but as an objective person, I'd be like, yeah, you got to go check out Ohio State before, you make any sort of decision here. So yeah, let's see what we can do. And let's hope You know, I wouldn't say like hope Ryan Day fumbles the bag, because I think our pitch could be just straight up better than what Ohio State's offering, right? So you never know what's being said. You know, it's all, you know, speculation from us, but you know, we're in a quarterback, you know, recruiting battle between Oregon and Ohio State, and
it's
those are just
clear
good
that
signs.
Ohio State is definitely like watching Indiana's 24/7 and just like targeting a lot of the same guys. So I'm not sure how serious. Like, I'm not saying it's not serious interest from Ohio State, but I wouldn't even be surprised if they were just doing it so Indiana didn't get them.
Yeah, that's a great strategy, honestly. Not bad.
It really is.
We've noticed that trend where it's like we're after a guy, and then they get an Ohio State offer, they get a Michigan
Yeah.
offer. Interesting.
Henry Olinger commits next day. Ohio State there to
offers.
see him.
Unreal. Yeah, that's how
Shocker.
it goes.
You know, if it happens once, you're like, if it happens like 3 or 4 times, you're like, it's good strategy though.
Yeah, you got to make your move before it's too late. You know, it's basically, you know, recruiting is like dating, basically. You know,
it is. No, it really is. That's why it'll be interesting to see how quickly the speed with which Indiana makes a decision at quarterback in this class will tell you how they feel about Luke Fahey and their chances of him committing.